What's going on, Wolfpack Nation? We are here today. We are having a special interview here today, y'all. As we are in the heart. We are deep into football season, though, and we're obviously talking a lot about guys like Kevin Concepcion, MJ Morris, Peyton Wilson, guys like that. But we say, you know what? Let's start to talk about a guy that's a part of the NC State future here. We have four-star tight end commit Gus Ritchey from North Carolina, the man, the myth, the legend himself. And so, Gus, first of all, thank you so much for joining us here today, man. We're super excited to have you on the show.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm really excited to be on the show, and I can't wait to talk about NC State, and I love it there. So yeah.
Let's go. All right. I love to hear that start off an interview. So that's a good thing. I know that for longtime followers of Tuffy Talk that we've had on guys on the show like Brendan Sisse, Isaiah Shirley. Who else, Greg?
Cedric Bailey, Duke Scott, Assad Brown, Kenan Lewis. List goes on and on. So just another piece of the puzzle.
That's right. So now we can add Gus Ritchey onto it here, man. The first 2025 guy here on the show, man. Awesome. So, but Gus, first and foremost, let's just kind of start back here a little bit. Talk about, you just got done, with the playoffs. Unfortunately, a tough loss to Lewisburg. I think it was 49-45. Was a shootout to say the least, for sure. And so, kind of give me, what have you been up to since? I know you kind of said you guys are in the middle of basketball workouts right now. So kind of tell me what you're up to right now. And then, like, how much time did you have between the playoff game on Friday and starting basketball workouts?
So, starting off from the playoff game, we went up above Wake Forest, play at Lewisburg. It was definitely a really close matchup. Honestly, we weren't expecting it to be that close. I think we actually had I think a lot of people were predicting us to win that game. And then, we came in a little slow from the start. They started scoring. They played totally different than usual, too. Had a really good game plan for me at the start. I was like handing the dirt, and there were like 3 or 4 guys just right over top of me. And I'm like, what is going on? And then spreading the ball out a little bit. They would either, have a linebacker on me and then a safety, right behind him. And I'm like, okay, they have a game plan. I know what their game plan is. They're trying to keep me out of it, from keeping me rolling, and then letting the other guys try to get the other guys involved. And honestly, our offense is really good, especially, half the time trying to take me out. I end up actually not – I actually had a pretty good game too. I know we had some penalties, a lot of penalties, a lot of stuff that just kind of fell through. Ended up being 3 points short. It happens. We definitely learned a lot, though. Honestly, that was the last time. This one hit the most because I used to play. I used to be moved up a grade and played with these guys since like 6th grade. And this loss hit a lot. It's tough now. I can't play with some of them. I'm trying to actually work on to at least PWO at State. So we got some athletes in that senior crew, but it's tough, and you learn from it, and, can't wait for next year to roll around and prove yourself. And then talk about basketball, right after that, I had morning workouts from 10 o'clock, tryouts. Yeah. So woke up, got back at like 12, went right to bed, then had basketball. And, it's going to be a pretty good season in basketball. I think we're actually potentially go to state championship this year from our team. So this is going to be a really good season. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I know too that talking to some of the parents in the stands, a lot of them are saying that they're really trying to build Northwood into a football school. One of the big time names of football in North Carolina, and all of them kept flying on you almost to a point, being like, Gus has been a huge piece of that. Bringing a lot of name and talent to a school, like Northwood. So, how much, would you say that, your impact and your legacy at Northwood really is in terms of importance to you, your legacy at Northwood?
I always have to give a shout out to like our community. It's a very small community. We're a very small town. Everything is just, everything is starting to build around now. I feel like, in the next 10 years, we're going to have, I think 30,000 new people moving in potentially, which is a lot for a small town that only has, 6,000, 5,000? I mean, it's not crazy, but from the small town feel, I always appreciate the community. We got a lot of kids moving in this area, especially this year since we had a new high school built right across the road. So a lot of new people are moving into this area, but also, I'm trying to, especially the young guys, the guys that are in middle school and stuff, I'm always pushing, look, if you want to build something, if you want to, like you said, I left a legacy. If you want to leave a legacy, Northwood's the place. I've had a lot of options. I mean, at one point I could have gone to IMG. Another point I could have gone to St. Francis Academy, for free, and I kind of just was like to myself, I'm like, but I love this small town feel. I love the community. I love how everybody treats each other. It feels good, and I can't appreciate them enough. And I wanted to stay at Northwood, especially the new coach that just came in this year, Coach Johnson, done a fantastic job. I mean, we didn't make it. My freshman year was the last time we showed up in the playoffs. In a decade was the first time we went 7-3. So this is when he came in, changed the program completely. A lot of new kids are coming in and looking at it, taking looks at us, visiting the school. But me personally, I'm talking to the young guys just like, look, like I want you guys to play for me, and I want you to play for this team and the community especially. But I feel like you guys I see something in you. I see, like you always just said, legacy. That's what I see in you guys. You guys can build something, and you guys can, help out. So,
yeah, love it. So, kind of moving back in terms of talking about, so, you coming up as a football player. So, kind of tell me, when did you find your love for football? Where did your love for football originate?
So, I started off, I lived in Indiana, so big basketball guy first. Moved in I was about 9 years old, 10 years old. Came down, played a little flag football. Wasn't, really into it at first. Parents signed me up for tackle football. And I've always been like a physical kid. Like I love wrestling. I love all that. Man, first time I put those pads on, I felt like, oh my gosh, like I want to go hit people. Like I want to like, this is fun. Like, oh, like I'm like, here I am. Like I didn't even I don't get in trouble for hitting people. Like I could just do it for free. I'm good. No, nobody has to say anything. My parents don't have to get mad at me. I'm just, I'm loving it. I want to say, I wasn't the biggest kid at one point. I was always undersized. I was tall, but not big, not a bigger kid. And by the time 8th grade rolled around, started really, really weight. I started really, especially when 7th grade when COVID hit. I took weightlifting very seriously. And I started getting bigger, stronger in 8th grade. At that point, I was like, whoa, this is totally different. I'm a totally different person than last year. So then I started going to camps, finding myself, looking at videos, studying film. And then all of a sudden, I just fell in love. And then that's when I was like, I want to become this different player. I want to be different than everybody else. I want to be a Division I athlete. I don't want my parents to pay any money. I want to not be given. I want to earn it. So that's always been like a motto of mine. Just never given. I will always want to earn it, and I just I've stand by that since 8th grade, and it's worked out. And now I'm at a school that I really love and appreciate, and I'm super excited at this point next year I'll be stepping in and getting my pads on and getting ready to work. So I'm really anxious. So yeah.
Before we continue, I want to take a quick second to tell you about our sponsor, Flightlands Jessup Insurance Group, that has your whole world covered, with agents in 5 offices throughout eastern North Carolina to help you decide how much coverage you need. Offering policies for home and auto, recreational vehicles, commercial, crop, health, life, and employee benefits. They are able to combine options to find a comprehensive solution that works for you. Flightlands Jessup protects the things you love so you can spend less time worrying and more time enjoying them. Find them on Facebook and Instagram at Flightlands Jessup. You can also visit their webpage at www.flightlandsjessup.com. So please make sure to go and check them out. Have you already talked to Coach Doran about enrolling early?
Yes, and he's thumbs up. So he's ready. He's ready. So yeah.
All right, cool, perfect. So kind of moving on to your when you were in 8th grade, there was this bowl called the Football University Freshman All-American Bowl.
Yeah.
And there was a quote said, and I quote, about Gus Ritchey, 2025 defensive end tight end. He's in 8th grade, but we thought he was in high school. We were like, what are you doing here? You're in the wrong group. So we got him moved over to the high school side of the field, and he won every rep. And then apparently that was really when your recruiting kind of took off.
Yes.
And apparently Georgia offered you, all the big guys really offered you right off that spot. So kind of tell me about that experience, because again, I always like to shed some light on the recruiting side, because not a lot of, fans like us really know what it's like to be, again, a freshman in high school, a 15-year-old kid, and getting talked to by these big time football schools, about coming to play and play for free. Like kind of tell me that experience from your side.
So, a little story. When I went to FBU, it was honest. It was so you're spot on. Go in there as an 8th grader, going against 8th graders. I'm dominating. I'm like, man, what am I doing here? Like, come on. I need to be like, come on. All of a sudden, they're like, because I did both. I did DN and tight end at one point, and just dominated. And they're like, all right, you know what? Since you're just killing kids, and plus at this time, my beard was I had a full grown beard. It was out here. It was wild. It was everybody what? There's no way. And I'm like, yes. I'm 14 years old. Yes. If you want, you can see my birth certificate. My parents are right here. I'm telling you. And I got it. I mean, it was hilarious. And then so freshman All-American game, I had some interest, but not to the point where schools were like, okay, this kid's offer kid, right? It was more a yellow card thing about it. Not if I best put if I say yellow card is all right, we're thinking we're offering a kid, but not sure. And then the green card are okay, yes, this kid is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna offer. This is a kid. So at that point, I had a lot of schools just in that boat. Okay, is he sure? Is he good? Freshman All-American game, I went to, if you guys know David Sanders, the 2025 5-star offensive tackle, I actually played against him and actually did pretty well. And at that time, he had quite a bit of offers. He had quite a bit of interest. He just started building his name. And all of a sudden, they're like, who's this kid? Who's this guy making these plays on a big-time prospect? I like this kid. So then they study our practices and film during that time. And they're like, all right, now we see why. This kid's under the radar. We need to pull the trigger. So I want to say, early January, Oregon was the first call. I was at 7-on-7 practice. My coach, they called my coach. My coach called me, pulled the trigger. And then that point on, it was just a snowball effect. Michigan, Georgia, Virginia Tech. It was a lot. There was quite a bit at one point. And
Ole Miss, Maryland, Texas A&M,
it was a lot. It was
blah 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 blah.
Right? It was a lot.
Don't sell yourself short, Gus. That's what I was doing for you. Don't sell yourself short.
And it was a lot. But honestly, I wanted at one point to make a decision early. I always thought of it. I want to make a decision early. I want to find something. Honestly, the first school that ever showed interest was NC State. Nobody knows that. I've never told anybody this publicly, but NC State was the first person to show interest. I went to camp. Coach Goble at the time was the tight ends coach until he moved to running backs coach. I was a lanky kid. I had a little bit, like a little bit, but like still like growing into my body, whatnot. Go dominate high school level. It's like, all right, like come back. We want to see you one more time, Then coaching staff changed, everything. Coach and I comes in. Then they're like, okay, this is a totally different guy. Like, because they want me as tight end, not D end. A lot of schools like me as D end, but they saw a tight end. So that's why they waited a little bit. And then they saw me. Film. They came in person to a basketball practice. They thought, like, we want to see his athleticism. So I go in, and I said, you know what? They want to see athleticism? I got you. So the first thing is I go in. They said, all right, let's see you dunk. Okay. So I take a ball. I said, watch.
Okay.
Throw it off the backboard, windmill. And I'm like, is that good enough? Let's see a couple more. All right, I got you. Tomahawk. 2 cock back, 2 in. People don't know, like I always say, like it's runs, basketball and whatnot is athletic. We pretty athletic family, and people that weren't expecting that. After that, it was actually a game. Actually, it was a game that day. After that, mid-game at halftime, I get Coach Doran messages my coach to call him because legal reasons and whatnot. Call him, offer me a scholarship. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm freaking out halftime. Like, oh my gosh, like it's crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy story, but I loved NC State from that point on. So.
And did this happen before the football university game?
This happened after. Like this was I want to say almost a year after.
A year after.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. They really took their time, and because a lot of schools they wanted me as a specific tight end, and I didn't show film at tight end. It was all on defense at my freshman year, and that's why sophomore year rolls around. Spread the ball out, did my thing. That's all they needed to see. So,
gotcha.
So for me, you mentioned you were playing both tight end and D end. First question is, are you still playing both, or are you strictly just doing tight end now?
Still playing both.
Okay.
I think he came to the game last time. I played a little bit both, but you said it. You look more comfortable with tight end.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I said there's no doubt that it seemed like you cared and your heart was definitely more into tight end than you were.
Yeah,
for sure.
and and I was more of, and they were still running away from me. Like it was like I was getting mad. Like I was like, what? Like come on, like for real, like, and but yeah, like I'm more of a tight end. A lot of people are like, well, you're not 6'5", not 6'6". Okay, I know. Like I'm 6'3". I know I'm not 260, but I compare myself to honestly, like a Brock. Like if I wanted to, like if I was a little bit faster, game style wise, if you see my film, I see more Brock Bowers type. I can see it. Like I know he's super fast. Like he's a super fast guy. This is why this summer I'm going to work on speed, and I think by next year when you see it, like I'm a pretty fast guy, but next year it's going to be completely different. And I compare myself to that playing style, more just like shifty. And then if I need to get physical, while I'm running the ball, I'm physical. And then I put people in the game. And it's like, that's how I am. And yeah, so.
Mm-hmm. I guess for me, the next question would be like, at what point did you decide that you wanted to be a tight end and not a D end? Like, was it based off of school offers, or was it just like you said, you kind of just felt more comfortable in that role?
I felt like it was a bit of both, honestly. I felt like, I don't know how to best explain it. So I know I'm about to say it. I know people are like still upset at me what I'm about to say. I think you know what's going to happen, but
we have no idea where this is going.
All right. So when I committed to the other school,
there you go.
Originally,
there you go.
When I committed to the other school, a lot of people didn't know, but I was going there as a DN. I appreciate the coaching staff there. I can't thank them enough for what they've done. Shout out to that school. Shout out to them. Honestly, We did a lot. But I felt more at heart, as a tight end. And really, honestly, I felt way, way, way more comfortable at NC State. Um, I think that was the place for me to start. It's tough to say, a lot of people are like, other reasons. No, it's the honest to God truth. I felt more comfortable. I knew that was a place from the start. That's why I did it so early. That's why I decommitted very early. There was nights where I couldn't even sleep. My parents couldn't sleep. My mom came to me that visit the day before I went to UNC. Well, my bad, now UNC, but yeah.
You're good. Hey.
So the day before I went, I never seen my mom cry. It said something about that school. My mom, she's an EC teacher, and Coach Doran's son has autism, and so they're big into that, that area, and they focus a lot on the area, especially since his son has autism. And my mom comes in, talks to Coach Doran's wife. They built this amazing relationship. It was the best thing I've ever seen. I've never seen my mom so comfortable in my life. I was so comfortable. And I remember she could literally drop down on her knees, just start crying. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? She said, but she was like, she said, I never am like this, but this school is just you. This school fits you, and it's amazing. And I want you to come here so badly. Like, this is the school. And a lot of things went down.
Talk to your mom.
Yeah,
honestly.
my mom. She
Mom knows best, brother. Mom knows best.
Yeah.
Best.
And I wish that at that time I should have just stuck with it. But stuff went down, and I'm like I said, I'm never gonna speak back to about UNC.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a reason things happen, right? And when you're not even 17, 18 at this point. What are you, like, still 16, or you just turned 17?
I just turned 17.
Okay, you just hit 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you're still a 17-year-old kid, all right? And these things come at you quickly,
Yes.
and it's a lot to take on. And so for you to just kind of say what you just said and put it out there that way, I mean, that's definitely genuine, heartfelt. There was no conspiracy theories, because if you follow anything on social media, there was all these conspiracy theories going on out there about why you decommitted, and so from me personally, thank you for sharing your story, and just kind of setting that record straight.
Yeah.
That speaks highly of your character.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people understood. I think that it's tough, to let another person down, a lot of people down.
For sure.
And a lot of people from this area are fan base off that school too. And but when they came to me and said, Gus, what happened? I told them the same exact thing. They said, Gus, that's the most understandable thing, and we respect you, this is the honest God truth. I literally, I can't thank them enough, but honestly, my heart went from this school from the start. And, I think a lot of people knew that. A lot of people knew that. But now I'm here. I'm happy, really, really happy. Don't have to stress. And,
right.
And I am, I can't wait to play next year. So, yeah, I'm really, really pumped.
Let's go. All right, y'all. So we're going to take a pause right there, y'all, as again, we will pick up in part 2 talking about, NC State, talk about this season, his thoughts on this season, talk about, what impact he wants to bring to NC State when he comes here in 2025. And so again, y'all, we're going to leave the links to all of his social media in the description below. So make sure to go follow our guy, Gus, man, and show him some love, Wolfpack Nation, as we are excited to have him as a part of the NC State Wolfpack, y'all. So we'll see y'all for part 2. Make sure, again, if you haven't already for us, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit that free notification bell so you're notified whenever we release any new NC State content. If you enjoyed this conversation, and if you love that Gus switch from that other school to NC State, do us a favor and hit that like button, and then give us a follow Tuffy Talk Now on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, y'all. We'll see y'all soon for part 2, and go Pack, y'all.
Go Pack.